Hello everybody and welcome to La Classique du Jeudi. I'm Mike Lister and you're going to be putting up with my terrible French accent this evening as we take on 36.6 kilometres through the French countryside from Le Pouliguen to Arzau. If you want to direct any of your complaints for my French accent to ZMS. Damon will deal with those for me, so thanks for that. So today we've got about 227 metres of climbing. Looks like we've got some good numbers, 41 riders currently on the start line. And here goes the overview of the course then. You can see it's pretty flat to start with. We're out by the coast, and then there's a short, sharp little climb, some fairly long straight sections before finishing over the bridge on a nice flat section. So looks to me like that might be somewhere in the north of France, maybe in the Brittany or Normandy area. Hopefully someone can let me know. So I'm going to be riding / racing and commentating, and hopefully it's going to be a good race. There usually are these Thursday France races. Thanks to Antoine Renaud for setting these up. He's also racing. And there we are then on the start line, about 90 seconds out from the start. See John by the way there from RGT on the start line. I feel like he was the first one into the pen this evening. And as well there you can see the course profile along the bottom of the screen then. And yeah, pretty flat to start with, all green elevation. And there's a bit of a climb. I can tell you that that climb comes about 10 kilometres in. There's an initial little climb that's sort of 3-4%, brief downhill, and then another little climb at 5-6%. It does peak at 10% towards the bottom, around about 800 metres of climb in there. So there will be a little bit of a selection. Stay together pretty well up until then, so we're about 30 seconds from the start. And yeah, let's get this power going. Let's get ready to rumble. Here I am on the cam. Hi everybody. Put my phone down, just in a last bit of talking there in the group chat. I haven't done my hair today. Look, oh, I look terrible. Need to get into hair and makeup. Right, let's get going then. 3, 2, 1. And we're away. So Van Beers, Shepherds, Krajewski on the front, Jürgen Janssens, Foley, Plager, Jorgen Van Beers, Cameron Ash. There's a big field of hitters I can see just going through the names on the left there. So off we get to go then, 47 riders. So it's a little bit, few corners in the first part of the race, this first 10k. So mostly flat. We will just need to watch out for any turns. Make sure that we're not getting caught out. So this race is featuring the new RGT physics, which are now live across all events, all races. I think this is probably the biggest event I've done with the new physics. I did do a few Omnium events, but they were sort of short, sharp efforts. Here we've got a decent sized field, and it's over a 36-kilometre event. So we'll see how we get on with these new and improved version 2.0 physics. So Ogle will be on the front then, a rider from Scotland, leader of the OTR e-racing team. OTR there on his back stands for on the rivet. Slang for when you're pushing hard on the edge of the red zone. Gareth Evans now comes through to the front. Fairly steady pace at this point in proceedings. You see Jim there just jumping off the front a little bit. He's up at 5.5 watts per kilo, putting in a little dig. So you start to see a few riders now respond and come across. Still early in this race yet. The momentum is with the pack. Gavin Ash also just jumping across then, making that bridge. Just 3 riders and perhaps just wanting to try out these new physics, see if they can get a bit of a jump, or a chance perhaps for a breakaway to succeed. See, it's starting to fragment behind. Riders trying to make the junction now, get across. I've just pushed over, got into this group. 7 riders in the group. We've got a 30-metre gap back to the pack. That's a decent little size, 7 riders. Could do some damage. More riders coming across then. You can see the numbers are swelling. The riders just closing that gap, closing that door between the 2 groups. No one getting away just yet. 2 groups looking like they're about to come back together. So that first move not sticking then. Good effort though. Trying to make something happen. A bit further back here, little group of 6 riders there, forming a little bit of a gruppetto. Always good to have a few riders around you to share the workload with, take turns, makes the ride go a bit easier. Doug Hadlington in there, racing Nan, Stephen Bellio. As you see, another little group of 6 trying their luck on the front of the pack here. Getting away too quickly just yet. 20 feet to the gap. You see Shayak there burst of pace to grit across. Plager as well. I'm going to jump across before the gap gets too big. Always a balance. You're always looking at the numbers. Are the odds in your favour in the pack? Or is it better to be in that group? How long can you leave it before that gap gets too big? Got to do all these calculations in your head on the fly. The Ratio boys have got numbers, 4 of them here. Other riders in this little breakaway might just be looking at them thinking, well, you've got 4 riders, you can put some work in. A few more riders coming across then. That group is breaking up. And now there's more riders in the breakaway than there are in the group behind. Few riders in between. Not a decisive gap just yet. It looks like a lot of the stronger riders have made it into this front group. "13 or so in this group. You can see there, that shot looking back. It's not a big gap. There's a few riders in the middle, in no man's land, and then another little gap back behind them. There we go, there's a great aerial overhead. See those 5 riders just behind Renault there, just to the left of your screen. Just about to get back in contact. But as they do, the pace is up at the front. They get stretched out. They're agonisingly close to hitching a ride. But as they get close to the front of the group, says thanks but no thanks, and looks to pull away. Leaving them dangling there in that no man's land between the 2 groups. Been an aggressive opening, 7.5 kilometres. Only 20% of the way into the race. So here's 20th down to 26th place then. The remnants of that peloton. They've been distanced now, they're about 100 metres behind. They won't be coming back on. Especially with Skilling and Plager just in front, driving the pace. They're pressing on. It looks like that group in no man's land didn't quite latch on to the front group then. 14, 15 riders in this front group. I did think it would stay together a bit more until we hit this first climb in a couple of kilometres. So there's been some early pace setting, and already the groups have fragmented on the road. Here we are with Trevor caught between the chase pack and the front of the race. Hepburn just above ahead of him, and Kent Blackburn and Kent might just be slightly better here, easing up a little bit. Regroup with the riders behind. You can see up ahead, there's the group. That might be a couple of intermediate riders. Yeah, there's the group, 17th place Greenall. There's 17 in this front group. Pace has just slightly settled. The riders can now see the first little bump before the main climb appearing on the radar. Probably just looking to keep their energy in their legs for a little bit longer. No point trying to break clear before the climbs. Trevor and Kent come together then on the right hand side of your screen. There's that chase group behind. Nelly, Paul, Daniel from OTR. 6 riders in that group then. On the left hand side, here we are. Just hitting this first little climb, 2.5%. Gavin Ash out in front, leading the way. It's about 50 metres of climbing. Max gradient of about 9.5%, but mostly it's below that. And you can see ahead on the screen, you can see the hill's not too big. We'll just recap the route there. As we hit the first selection point of the day then. Sharak then off the front, leading the group up. Janssens and Fiesta out the back. A little bit of separation. Gap between 6th and 7th, 20 metres. Oh. Renew comes across. And Ogilvie, Skilling and Nixon. Oh. Now a downhill section, brief moment of respite. So that group of 17 down to 10 at the 11 riders. Ash, Van Beers, Fiesta and Janssens dropped. Juicy's come straight back across a small gap and onto the front. Alex Plager here then makes a little dart to the front. Opens up a 15-metre gap. I might just settle down a little bit for a moment. As we come across the top here, and then we gently downhill up to about the 19-kilometre point. There's a sharp little climb, very short. There is a spike on the elevation. So we've seen that initial selection made. These riders know now they've got an opportunity now just to rest for a few minutes. Might see just a little bit of a, oh, as I say that, we get an attack from Rassio. Plager going again. Juicy, Shepherds. Don't want to let too many Rassio boys go at once. They could work together. So again, it's that numbers game. Who's in the break? How big's the gap? Who's in the chase? Where am I on the course? Is it downhill? Is it uphill? All these factors you need to weigh in. At the moment, 7 versus 2. 22 kilometres to go. So the favour is in the pack at the minute. Still 200 metres of climbing on this route. So that's an opportunity to bring some of that time back, and that distance currently at 50 metres. So we've got Krajewski, Shepherds and Greenall in this group. They're not going to do any work to bring it back. Their teammates in the break. So I say it's 11 versus 2, or 9 versus 2. But really it's 6. Those guys are just going to sit in at the back, get a tow. If they snooze, they might find themselves off the back. If the numbers change, they might be forced to work. Ooh. Aggressive racing this evening. The latest move is shut down. Our 11 riders get back together. Just skidding just a few metres up the road. You can see the pack behind. They're fanned out across the road. That indicates the pace is relaxed. And now it gets drawn out as riders look, try and bridge. See how it all condenses into a line as riders try to get that draft benefit. Ogilvy again, getting up to the front. He's been very lively. Getting in those moves. Nothing sticking just yet. I've not seen any moves of more than 100 metres yet. Yep, Riley on the messenger there, Facebook chat. He's right, Ratio using their team members and their numbers in this group to break things up, making others work hard. I don't know if they've got a protected rider in here. They might have one that they're just saving for the end. You can go for a bit of a long sprint perhaps. They're making everyone else do the chasing. Good tactic. There's Van Beers and Miller, 13th, 14th. Yeah, the new physics, I don't know if it's, it's not. I'm just trying to get the brush a little bit as well. It's not a radical rewriting of the physics. There are small tweaks here and there. But it is quite an aggressive race. Feels like we're getting a bit more. It's happening a few times where there's a few riders getting a 20-30 metre gap. Is that the new physics? Perhaps. Is it just team tactics? And riders being aggressive. You see Collins now, 7 watts per kilo. Ogilvy going with him again. So yeah, the pace is pretty high. We come up to the halfway point then, through the yellow arch. So once again, a little bit of separation in that group. Pretty warm, making sure I get the fluids in. Always make sure you've got a bottle of water near you. So here comes that bump. Like I said, it was quite spiky. Really need to attack these bumps. They do scrub your speed, and that's really spread things out. Yeah, Ogilvy doing a great job, very aggressive. Oh. He's got good legs today. I think he's just come back from holiday, so he's well rested. So another definite split then. Skilling trying to get back across. You see 7 riders in this group. Ratio driving the pace, trying to stop that from happening. They can see they've got good numbers in this group. As Skilling comes back across. So 3 more riders ejected from this group. As we look back at Jansen's, Oliver, also from OTR. And there's Nixon, now caught between groups. Dropped from that front pack. These ratio attacks are relentless. They're just taking turns in pairs. It's hard when you have 4 riders from different teams, different nationalities. Try and mount a meaningful chase and response. It's 4 versus 4 at the moment. Another little bump coming up. There we go. We'll give it another little attack. Yeah, I'm really worried about your thumb statement. It's my biggest worry right now. Oh. see it's pretty undulating on that profile. There's one sharp red climb left to come. Tops out at about 7%. It's fairly short. So you just need to be careful as we approach. Get ready for it. And be decisive and attack it. So then we have a task just swinging across there back into the draft. I was out on the left of my own for a moment. Inside line, into the wind. There's Kent then. Evans. Good to see everybody get some air time. It's all about the front of the race. There's a good group, look at that. With the 6 or 7. Keeping each other company, helping each other out. That'll be a fun sprint come the finish. They'll be battling all the way, I imagine. So as much as we enjoy you watching the ZMS live stream and the V Cycling News broadcasts, you can go into the peloton, which, on by the way, also streams on YouTube. So if you press the virtual red button, you can find his stream, see what's happening in the middle of this race. A bit further back, Doug Hadlington there, and Otoleka Koala. And here's Koch from Denmark and Rubrock just passing through the halfway point. And just behind him, French rider Simone. He was a Masters rider, as indicated by the M after his name there. That's a rider who's above 40 years of age. And they're our final rider on the road. So back to the front group then. Still 8 riders. Pace has just eased off a little bit. We're about to hit another small climb. There's the red warning triangle. 3% average gradient for 900 meters. There are some steeper elements within that. Plager once again up the road. He's the Ratio Rabbit, the one to chase. There I am in the group, Not able to chase at the minute. Get my heart rate down a bit. Up at 182. There we go, there's my life stats. As Alex now pulls out a lead to 100 metres. You can see why our pace has dropped right off to 2.5 watts per kilo. We've still got just over 10k to go. Still a chance to put him back. And there we see Shayak making a move. And here we get a response from the group. Having to work hard, try and snap that elastic from the group. Not quite worked. But it's taking 20 metres off that lead. We go again. That looks like it might have done some separation damage. See there, a few gaps. Hit another small bump. Just about coming back together before we get onto a bit of a descent. Get all regrouped, this group of 8. And there's still 100 metres of climbing to go yet. So this race is far from done. The last few kilometres are downhill to the line, so it will be a fast finish. But once again, the pace has really dropped off in this front group. So they've got a 650 metre buffer for the few riders behind. That's not going to come back. The podium is going to be competed amongst these 8 riders. We'll be bringing you all of the live results straight after the race. So let's respond to an attack off the front. Courtesy of rgtdb.com. Check that site out for all of the event info, race results, upcoming races, and information on upcoming series, such as the Giro d'Europa. So that's a 5-stage, 5-day race, different real road every day, Monday to Friday. That's coming up at the end of the month of August, crossing over into September. So all the details for that are on rgtdb.com. Another aggressive section, Oh. Oh. Hard work. Combination of teamwork, lumpy course, aggressive racing is making this hard race. The skilling, the elastic is snapped. He's fallen out of that group of 7, well, group of 8 now down to 7. That's not good news for me. The numbers swing slightly in the favour of Ratio. They come to the front then. Just got to watch them. Another little uphill section. Real undulating terrain this. Not easy to get into a rhythm. Lots of gear changes. Lots of changes in resistance from the trainer. Take another look at our course. So we're just about there. 6.3k to go. Still climbing at the minute. Not too steep. 2% gradient. It's pretty manageable, even on tired legs. Still working hard, 177 heart rate. It's towards my top end. Just trying to manage my effort, save some for these attacks that are going to come. Get the sweat off my face. Little kick there by Greenall. Stringing things out a little bit, keeping everyone alert, on their toes. You can't switch off in these last few kilometres. You've got to dig deep. Done the hard work for 31 kilometres. Can't lose it in the final 5. Looks like Renew is just slightly ahead of Ash, Skilling and Nixon. So Skilling there dropping back into that little chase group. We're still 600, 700 metres down the road. Renew just pulling away a little bit there. We get an attack from Shayak. Group has to respond. Hit a slight gradient section. No, it looks like Ogilvy just got out there. But this front group's not pushing. Ogilvy's got one more match, he might get back on. As I say that, Shaik is up in the pace again. 5.5. Doing me a big favour here. Means I can just sit on the ratio, boys. Oh. Real attack here. Attack, counter attack. Oh. Oh. I'm dying. Go on, Nick. Keep it up. Oh, come on, Nick. One K to go then. Nick in the lead. I'm just going to hold on to second. That pack is closing. There's the finish, 500 meters. Come on! Oh, take second. Oh, 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 super hard finish. I feel sick. Oh, oh, oh well done, Nick. Oh. You got away. Well done. Oh, look at these. I'm absolutely gassed. Oh. 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 Ratio got their win. 1.2 seconds ahead of me. There's Ogilvy now coming up to the line. Oh. Oh, cheers Trumpton, cheers John, thanks for tuning in. Sorry, I only just seen your messages. That was a hard race to focus. I thought Nick was going to blow up our little group, give the advantage back to the chase, but his Ratio teammates, there was 3 of them in Shayak, they managed to hold off just long enough. Then the other Ratio rider there in the group chat just yeah, saying unlucky to the Ratio guys, nearly had me on the line. Whew. So here's the chase then. Oh, Renault going with 100 meters to go, dropping Nixon. Ash coming through, is he going to take it? Ooh. That was close on the line between Ash and Nixon. We'll have to wait for the official result, but I think maybe Nixon just got it. And it was Collins and Skilling. Here comes Miller then. He's watching the live stream, give a little wave as he crosses the line. Yeah, John, Nick Carino is on fire at the minute. I think he's been isolating because of COVID, so he's obviously putting it to good training use, all that free time. So there's our official top 5, top 6. So that even watts per kilo for me and Nick. You see on course, Jansen's then just pushing against ahead of Olivo. Yeah, 5.2 second gap from Nick back to Mike Lister, myself in second. It was 0.6 of a second ahead of Plager and Shayak, who, according to this, got the same time, which is what it shows in the main game as well. All of these results that you see on the screen from RGT DB are taken direct from RGT. So there shouldn't be any discrepancies, and that is correct. They did get the same time. So well done to those two. They take the joint bronze medal. And then Shepherd and Krajewski, the other Ratio riders, finishing 5th and 6th there. Good result by Plager. He did a lot of attacking. He gave us the rabbit to chase. Jim Ogilvy coming in 7th. I think he'll be pleased with that. Unfortunately, just got dropped in the last 5 kilometres. But 7th out of 44 riders or so, hanging on with the front group for as long as he did. I'm sure we'll be pleased, especially after he's been away on holiday for a week. And then behind him, Anton Renault breaking clear from Nixon and Ash, who also unbelievably given the same time. Wow, 2 dead heats. Just shows how competitive that racing is all the way up to the line. So that's the top 10. And we've got Ross Collins from Moon Riders, Mark Skilling, Rob Miller, Jürgen van Beurs, Patrick Olivo, who did come back and take Jürgen Janssens, Mark Ian Hepburn, Jimmy Trevor, and Max Tonelli. That's your top 20. We just follow a few more riders. There's a big group. It looks like they're pretty close to the finish line. So here's Paul in 21st place. And there's a big group behind him. We will stay online to see them coming across. So close to an hour that race, 54 minutes just under for the front group. It was a hard race, and yeah, I thought that was going to be a little bit quicker than that. And if that's to do with the new physics, making it just a little bit harder. Yeah, a lot of climbing as well, very undulating, scrubbing your speed. Thanks for watching. Here we are then, here's the group. John, by the way, going early, putting the pressure down. Isator just coming through. Oh, that looked close on the line. I think Isator just took it from By the Way. And then O'Connor steaming on through behind them. Looks like Kent just got slightly distance as that sprint took off. So he comes across to take 26th place. And there's Christoph. So a few more riders just to come through. Thanks a lot to Antoine Renaud for organising the Classique du Jeudi races every Thursday at 5:45 UK time. That's 6:45 for the French and European riders. It is part of a series as well, so every month there's 4 or 5 races, depending on how many Thursdays there are in a month. And all the results each month are combined into an overall leaderboard. So all of those results can be found on rgtdb.com. And you can go there and check out the overall series leaderboard, see upcoming races from this series and other events. So thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed the stream, and we hope that you will join us next time, either on the stream or on the road on RGT. Thanks a lot, everybody. I've been Mike Lister. You've been watching ZMS live stream on Facebook and The Cycling News on YouTube. Please give us a like, give us a subscribe, and you'll be notified of any upcoming streams. Thanks a lot for engaging, guys, and catch you all again soon. Goodbye.